conducting a preliminary ground-penetrating radar survey.
Yeah, so this is to see if more graves could be found in that area. Our Dacian Smith has this story for us tonight. Dacian, this is just the first step.
That's right, and the city hopes that the results from this survey can help them better understand what this park was years ago. In June of 2021, 2 kids found human remains while cleaning out a crawl space underneath the Boy Scout building at Miraflores Park. Research shows the remains were over 75 years old and were identified as a man and a woman. More research shed some light on what the park used to be.
We've been able to determine that there was a potential burial ground here that very well might be African American or of some sort of biracial descent, whether that's Creole or white and African American.
A map of Pensacola from 1884 shows a fenced-in graveyard at the park, which was known as Havana Square until 1965. According to newspaper articles and meeting minutes from the early 1900s, there were several requests back then to find out who was buried in the graveyard.
Asking for the city surveyor or the city marshal or later the street superintendent to come out and figure out who's buried here and then insist that the mayor have them removed. We haven't found evidence of that yet, if that occurred.
Because of that, it's unclear if there are any other graves still at the park. Recently, the city started the Miraflores Burial Ground Study to figure out what kind of burial ground was here and eventually commemorate its history.
It could very well be that this is a marginalized community, and we're seeing this all across the state of Florida and in the southeastern United States, where African American burial grounds are forgotten and lost to time.
To help, the city, along with Pensacola Energy, did a preliminary ground-penetrating radar survey, which works by using an antenna to transmit radar energy into the ground and reflect waves off any buried objects, whether they be utilities or something else.
That's the question, is were these bodies removed to somewhere else or not? So today is going to help us to continue to plan to figure that out.
Again, today's study was just preliminary, and the city plans to use the results to help them plan for a potential full-scale GPR survey as part of the next phase of this study. Live in Pensacola, Dacian Smith, Fox 10 News.